Hello friends, I'm working on a bonnet, which is going to be a simple project that will be for my daughter's Halloween costume. She is a young adult and she requested the bonnet. And it is to go with her Care Bear costume. So what I'm going to do right now is weave in the top of the hat, the tail. I had to redo the top because it had like a cone head shape. So I got that done. Now I'm going to weave in the end. Shouldn't take too long. I actually already tied it off really good. I'm just going to put this ending through real quick. Takes me more time to get the needle out than it does to do the weaving. I should have just probably done it with a crochet hook. Oh well. Okay, so then the way that this pattern goes is it has 3 rounds of border after you finish the bonnet, and this bonnet is a pattern that I got off of YT, and it is from Kiara's Hooks. I have another post, I believe, that tags her as well. And for this one, I'm using this ombre. My daughter picked it out. It is called Scuba Ombre. Let me just pull out a bunch of yarn. And I might need to grab my tablet to review the tutorial, but we'll see. I think I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit here. Just a moment. There we go. There we go. That works good. This pattern is actually very easy to follow. The top is just a simple decrease. Okay, I'm going to adjust this some more because I feel like I need more light. I have my giant family-sized bag of gummy bears sitting here, so. So this has a very simple pattern. You can use whichever stitch you like for the body. You just have to adjust the number of rows. So this double crochet is 11 rows. And then once you get up to the 11th row, then you do a chain and you connect across the 2 sides of the project. And then you do 3 rows of double crochet. And then after those 3 rows, then you start to do the decrease. So if you wanted to do a tighter stitch, like a half double or a single crochet, then you just adjust accordingly for the number of rows that you're going to complete. And then you can also make it super custom to fit the size of your head. And again, I got this one off of Kiara Hooks on YT. Kiara's Hooks. Oop, I don't want to do 2 in there. And then we just need to go carefully around the corner. She didn't indicate to do like a chain one or anything, so we'll see how this looks going around the corner. It's not a super tight stitch, so it might be flexible enough that it'll go around the corner. And this is an ombre yarn, so you can see that it's changing colors right now. Another project I'm working on is Sophie's Universe. So since we kind of have a timeline on these bonnets, I need to finish the bonnets and then I'll continue on with Sophie's Universe. The bonnets are just about done. I have this one and a yellow one that I'm working on. Okay, so now that we're a little bit away from the corner, let's see how it looks. It should be fine. It curves a little bit inward, but this is where we're going to create the tie. So then once the tie is on there, then we'll see how it fits. Hey, how's it going? Peggy, are you having a good day? Oh, thank you. This blue is an ombre super saver and it's called Scuba. I'm making a bonnet. My daughter needs it for her Halloween costume. I think one of these days I'm going to have to pull out my sewing machine and start to make some zipper pouches for my next craft fair, because I bought some fabric that has Gilmore Girls print on it, so I want to make some bags out of that fabric. And my next craft fair is November 19th, so. Hey Debbie, how's it going? Sorry, I'm having trouble with my camera today. For whatever reason, I'm not getting it in the right spot, so I'm kind of keep moving it around. I finally found my safety eyes, so I'm going to try to also make some amigurumi. Just some simple stuff like little oranges or snowballs or something. Actually, I don't even know if I have white, so maybe I won't be making snowballs. I could use gray and call them dirty snowballs. Put one eyeball on them and call them Cyclops snowballs. Ooh, working on a sweater cardigan. That sounds nice. You know, I have the pattern for the Wickedly Handmade cardigan. The, oh my gosh, what's it called? Hooded hexagon or something. But I haven't tried to make it yet, so we'll see. I did finish the poncho dress. I just need to tie in all the ends. I think I did a lot of them as I was going, but I think I still have a few to tie in. I was thinking of buying a set of leggings, or a pair of leggings and a little cheap turtleneck to pair with it to show at the fair, but I'm not sure. It's kind of one of a kind, so. Oh my God, I hear the dogs ramping up. I'm going to close my front door. Look what I made. Be right back. Oh no, I feel a sneeze coming on. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. So do you guys eat snacks while you're crafting? Sometimes I get a little sweet tooth, so I order gummy bears because I feel like I can just kind of eat those and my hands don't get dirty and stuff. Something else like chocolate or something is going to melt. Oh, thank you, Debbie. So I ordered this bag of gummy bears from Amazon and I paced myself, so it lasts me a long time, but it said it's a 2-pack. And so that was why I ordered from this particular vendor, because the price was great. So I ordered a 2-pack. When it arrived, there was only one in the order. So then I went back and I looked at the listing. I said, yeah, it says it's a 2-pack. So then I looked where I could see if it says contact the seller or anything, but it didn't have that. So then I looked at the customer service options to see what options there were. And I clicked on return or replace because I thought maybe I can send a message that one of the items was missing. Okay, so I think we went all the way around. Yeah, we got 2 rounds. Let me check my video and make sure it's supposed to be 3 rounds because that's what I'm remembering, but just in case. Okay, oh, there we go.
To start closing it off. So go across diagonal, and then now I can curve with your regular stitch, just like so, and then you're gonna wrap the yarn around your. And now I have these 2 stitches that I'm going to keep building on until they get long enough.
Let me see, I think she did 2 rounds, not 3.
And then you can go along the sides. Okay. Take your time, it'll get done eventually. It's not that long, but just make sure that you don't want to have too many big holes popping on the side, okay? That stitch, I'm going to pull through, wrap around, and pull 2. And then I have completed my border for my bonnet all the way around. And now the only thing that I have to do is do the string so that I can close off my bonnet when it is being worn.
It looks like 2 rounds. Let me see what she says.
Add the white in. So I'm going to go like this, put it on my crochet hook first, and then I'm going to put it as far out on the corner as I can under 2 loops, and then I'm going to grab the longer side of the white yarn and I'm going to wrap it around my hook and I'm going to pull it through. And then now I can start doing my stitches right across. Now that we have that in place, I'm going to wrap my yarn around my hook and I'm just going to go into the middle of those stitches. So I'm going into,
so you can see I'm following this tutorial. You can see her name.
That's where I'm going into with my white.
And then her other channels or other platforms.
You can see that what I'm doing is I'm adding the white. So I'm just going to continue going around and around as I explained earlier. And once I have completed my 2 extra rows around this bonnet, we just have to add the strings and then this is complete. Through, wrap around and pull 2. And now I have these 2 stitches that I'm going to keep building on until they get long enough, and then I'll go on this side, do 2 stitches there, and then
Okay, it is going to be only 2 rounds, so here's the front of the bonnet. And let's see what she does.
Take your time. It'll get done eventually. It's not that long, but just make sure that you don't want to have too.
Then I'll continue my gummy bear story.
Okay. That stitch I'm going to pull through, back around and pull two. And then I have completed my border for my bonnet all the way around. And now the only thing that I have to do is do the string so that I can close on my bonnet when it is being worn. 2 stitches. So there's that. 1 and 2. So this is the front. And now I have these 2 stitches that I'm going to keep building on.
Okay, I'm going to slip stitch backwards a little ways because
Do 2 stitches and go until they're long strings.
I need to have them in a certain location for the string.
Now that I have done that, I'm going to rotate my work, turn it around, right? And I'm going to wrap the yarn around, and I'm just going to go on the tops, just like I was doing, just as if I'm doing the rows that we did when we first started. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it.
Okay, it doesn't really matter, I guess, because it's going to be 2 double crochets, and those are going to continue across as the string. And it's going to be 2. So let's do it this way. Okay, where's the top? Okay, perfect. And then it's just going to be turning your work, turning your work, turning your work to make the 2. And I guess you got to chain 1 at least, huh? And then that is what's going to be built on to become the tie that will be used to tie the bonnet. I don't know, that seems like it's going to be kind of wide, not like a string, you know? Maybe she didn't chain. Just double crochet into the stitch. Let's try that. I mean, it's not like it's a high fashion piece, you know? Okay, we'll just try it that way. Just keep turning the work. And see how it looks after a couple. It's going to look funky anyways because you keep turning your work, but I think a chain is going to be better. Excuse me, I don't really like that method. I mean, if I wanted it a little bit more robust, I could always go back on the chain and do like a single crochet. Let's see how long we want to make this. I think I will just make it a chain. And then if it's too long, I can easily make it shorter and trim the extra yarn. Okay. Okay. and go to the other side of the bonnet. So here's the front of the bonnet, and here is the tie, and then I'll make the other tie on the other side. I want to make it in the same location as close as possible. Actually, I want to start it with the yarn on this side. How am I going to do that? There we go. Oh my gosh, why am I making this so complicated? Okay, and then I'm going to just tie this so that we have the end secured. This is not the conventional method. This is me just kind of winging it. Okay, there we go. And now I'm just going to chain this. What the heck? Oh my gosh. So that will work. And this is supposed to be just tied like a slip knot, but it's not slipping. There we go. Okay. And then I'll just chain this however many to match the other side. I didn't count the other one at all, so I just have to measure it next to it and see. This I'm just doing the tie for the bonnet. Okay. So keep chaining a bit more. Then I'm going to leave the tail extra long so that if it's too long or too short, I can add more. So that looks like about 10 more chains. Okay, let's compare again. Okay, that should be good. It's not exact, but that's okay. Then I'll just leave this extra long as well. Take one out. Then once my daughter tries it on, then we can see what's up. So this is going to be for a Care Bear costume. So then I will need to make ears to attach the ears on here. I might need to put cardboard for a stabilizer. We'll see. Okay, so there's one. Here's my Sophie's Universe so far. I'm not working on this again yet. Here's my little doggy poo bag I made. The customer didn't want the hole right here on the dog's booty, so I put it off to the side. Here's my sign I made for when I'm live, but I need to step away. Okay, and here is the yellow bonnet. So the yellow bonnet is what we're going to be working on, and we are going to add the border. The border is going to be the same color. So first let's weave in this, and this is already tied off. I just need to weave it in. So I'm going to use a hook, like I should have done on the blue one, but the blue one I wasted my time getting the needle out, threading the needle, all that good stuff. I mean, I guess in a sense it is easier, but okay. Let's do one more weave right here. All right, and then we can trim off this long piece. Okay, so let me finish my story about my gummy bears. So I ordered the gummy bears. It said they come in a 2-pack, and the price was really great. So I thought, okay, perfect. I'm going to order from this vendor. So I sent in the order for the 2-pack, and when it arrived, it was only one. So then I looked for the option to return, or actually first I wanted to contact the seller and explain that the description says it is a 2-pack and I only got one item, but there was not an option to contact the seller because the seller, it says, is Amazon services or whatever. So then I looked at refund or replacement because I thought, well, I'll just message them to send me the other item since it said it's a 2-pack. Well, there wasn't an option to say like what you want as the replacement. So then I requested a refund, and there was an option to chat. So I thought, okay, good, I can give them more details. But the chat had all pre-populated questions or responses. So the bot would ask a question and then I would pick from the pre-populated answers. Well, when it came right down to it, I couldn't explain that there was an issue with the description and that I only received one item. So I just requested a refund. So I got a refund, but the item is non-returnable. So now I have the free gummy bears, or I have the gummy bears, and I got the refund. So, I mean, what are you supposed to do? I think people will continue to order that product and request a refund because they're not getting what the description says. So I don't know, maybe they'll start wondering, hey, how come everybody that orders this product is requesting a refund? And then maybe audit and see what the issue might be. I don't know, fix the description. And so this bonnet ends with a border of 2 rows and then a tie. The original design has a tie that's made up of 2 double crochets, but that seemed a little bit too complex and it wasn't turning out looking nicely, so I just opted for a chain. The border on this will go around the nape of the neck and then across up the side like by the cheek and then across the front of the face like where the bonnet will be on the forehead. This can be a two-tone, but I'm using the same color on the border as I used on the bonnet. It's almost like a Winnie the Pooh color. I think it's called pumpkin. No, saffron. I was surprised there's so many different shades of like golden yellow. There's one called gold, there's one called saffron, there's one called pumpkin that is a little more orange than yellow, and then there's yellow and a light yellow. So the yellow and the light yellow are obviously pretty different. But I was surprised to see how many colors of yellow there were, different shades. Now on this border, if you come to a spot that has kind of a bigger hole, then you just do a little modification on where you put your hook in to connect your double crochet. You can always pick up one of the other yarns from the other stitch just to kind of tie it together, and I'll show you what I mean. So like right here, I'm going to get this yarn. And this border doesn't require a certain stitch count. You just want to have it so that it's nice and neat and not pulling big holes. This bonnet will be used for a costume, so it's not going to have the tie tied super tight. It might not even be tied. If you're making it like for a little kid, you know they're gonna probably pull on the ties, so you might need to reinforce that. And here we're just gonna go across the front of the forehead, and on that one you're going between the stitches. Oh yeah, this one is from Kiara's Hooks, and so I'm following a video online, but I'll show you. Here is the bonnet, and then you can totally customize it. When you're starting out, she shows you how to measure, so you can do a chain stitch at the nape of your neck, so go across your back of your neck, and then you can put the chain stitch like on your cheeks. So do you want it right by your ears, or do you want it coming a little bit farther forward? Then that's how long you make the chain, and then you just start with a double crochet in that chain. But the tutorial is super easy, and you can see it's Kiara's Hooks. And then also she has, she's on TikTok. So see right there, Crochet ACCS. So you could see her other projects. But it's a very simple bonnet, you know, and you can make it any size. This one is a 40 chain with 11 rows. So the 11 rows are right here, and then you make a chain across the forehead and then do some rounds around, and then as you get up to the crown, you do a reduction or decrease. Not a reduction, like that's a cooking term. So I'm just going to do 2 border rounds on this. That's what the video calls for. And then make the chains for the ties. And the border, you can do it a different color if you like. This one is going to be the same color. It's going to be for a Halloween costume. This almost looks like chainmail. You know, like if you're going to do something for a Ren Fair or something, you could crochet this in a steel color or mossy green or something and make it look like a chainmail hood. That's going to be a lot more comfortable. Oh, sorry, comfortable than actual chainmail. And have that as a costume. You also could leave the top open a bit, because if you're going to do like a ponytail or a bun, this one we're going to attach ears onto each one because it's going to be for a Care Bear costume. Oops, let me do a little bit more on this one. Let's see. You don't want to have your double crochets yanking the costume or the hood smaller. Just kind of put them in there so that it's loose. And you can use different colors if you like. You can do the bonnet portion in one color and the border in another color. This one is just going to be the same color. My daughter is a young adult, and she and a friend are going to be Care Bears. So she wanted to know if I could make this bonnet, which of course I can. Of course I can. No limit to the creativity. You just have to find the pattern or the inspiration, because sometimes you don't find the exact pattern, but you can find the inspiration. So then you use the inspiration and some modifications to make your own pattern. Oh, here I am back at the beginning, so let me fix that, because I'm going to attach this just by doing a slip stitch. Then I'm going to continue on with doing a double crochet right into there. And then on this round, I'm just going to go in between each stitch. So you can see this is fairly simple. The hardest part is the decrease on the crown, but it's not even that hard. The secret is to kind of stop before the hole is completely closed, and then you go kind of across and diagonal with slip stitches to pull it together, but not like super tight. So then the hole is small enough that you can pull it together with the slip stitch, but not have it be puckery. The challenge is going to be attaching the ears, which I suspect we will be attempting to do tonight. If you need to, when you're working on this, you can always put a stitch marker to mark the beginning where you first started your border, When you're using the same color, it isn't as obvious. So using a stitch marker might be a good idea. That way when you get around, then you'll know where to slip stitch it together, and then finishing off the 2 rounds of the border, and then you'll have the opportunity to make that chain for the tie. And then just keep continuing around. This is a 2-row border on a bonnet. I do have another post about the bonnet, and I included the creator's information there. This is going to be a bonnet for a Care Bear costume. Very simple costume. I mean, very simple bonnet. Just involves double crochets, and then when you get to the crown of the bonnet, then you would be doing a simple decrease and then closing with a slip stitch, and the rest of the bonnet is made with double crochet. Oops. So this is just going across the front of the bonnet where the forehead will be, and then down the other side, which will be near the cheek, then tie off and create the ties for the bonnet. And the ties for the bonnet are just going to be made with a simple chain stitch. All right. And we are coming down back to the beginning. So let's slip stitch this together. And then we don't need to tie off because we are using the same color. So I'm just going to go right into my chain stitch. And then I'll do the same chain on the other side. Okay, let's see, I did 40 chains. That's probably way too long, but that should be good. So I'm gonna leave a long tail, and then once we determine if the length is correct, too long, too short, whatever, then we can make adjustments. Here is the bonnet. And we need the other tie on this side. Where is the end of the yarn? So I'm just going to do a slip knot there, attach here, so put my yarn on the hook first. What the heck? Okay, did you see what I did? Look where I put the slip knot, on the freaking tail of the of the other tie. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me try that again. Holy macaroni. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. So I can feel that the chains are a differing kind of tension. So I'm not going to go just by the number count. I'm going to compare them side by side. Oh, it looks like it turned out pretty close. So I'll go ahead and trim off this attachment to the skein, pull this through, and then same situation, we'll determine if it's long enough and or too short or whatever, and then make adjustments. And then once these are tried on, then we can add the ears. So I'm thinking for the ears, I'm just going to do a simple circle and then fold the circle in half. So how am I going to do that? I'll just do it like a chain 4, connect it together, and then crochet within the circle, but how many to make? That is the question. So I think I think it's usually 8 you could do in here. We'll see how it turns out because it's not a magic circle, so I'm going to have a little bit of a hole there in the middle. Let's see, did I do 8? Okay, now let's join it together, the slip stitch, and then go around another double crochet. So I'm just going to do 1 and then 2 and then 1 and then 2. Let's see how it looks because I'm just kind of winging it. When I did this kind of a circle thing before, there was a pattern. I wonder if we could just do a half circle. Let's see. I think a half circle would look okay as an ear. So let's say this is the surface, and then you sew it, then it's actually going to like kind of curve like the little ear. Yeah, I think that'll work. I'm going to set this aside. Hey, Allie, come here. I want to show you something. Yeah. So what do you think about this ear? Is it too short? Make it taller?
Yeah, I think you can make it a little taller.
Okay, I think I'm going to do a row or two. Like a half circle. Okay,
yeah, that sounds good.
All right. So we're just going to do this ear in a half circle. We'll see how it turns out. And then it kind of curves in like a little scoop. So then that will be, you know, like how a bear's ear will look. But then also having it only one layer is going to mean it won't be as heavy and difficult to have it standing up on the crocheted hat. So I can easily just make 2 of these and then attach it to the bonnet. Oh, here I'm back to the beginning. Yeah, so okay, I'm gonna tie this off, and again, I'll leave a I'll leave a long tail because that will give me more flexibility to add more if I need more. So there's a little ear. All right, and I am going to say goodbye for now. I think I might be back later, but no promises because you just never know what happens. All right, so you guys have a great afternoon, and thanks so much for stopping in. Thank you, thank you.